Have you ever just been done? I mean, you're done, you're ready to throw in the towel, you're ready to quit, you've had enough of all the nonsense. I think we've all been there at some point, and probably more than usual over the last year and a half. Am I right? So diving into all that, what do you do when you want to quit? So strap in, get ready for episode 258. Let's go.
The future of fitness.
How do you gain muscle mass?
Fitness is not complicated. It's simple when you break it down.
There's so much information out there.
No fads, no diets, just plain simple habits.
You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast.
Hey, welcome to today's episode. My name is Brian Parody, and I will be your host today. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. So glad to have you here. If this is your first time listening, I try to break down fitness into simple, 10-minute or so episodes, bite-sized chunks that are practical that you can apply today. And for my return listeners, thank you so much for coming back. It means the world to me to have you here. Just the fact that you tune in time after time to listen to these episodes, it really means the world to me. And this podcast wouldn't be possible without you. So thank you. Before I dive in, if there's anything you ever want to ask me, whether it's fitness related, nutrition related, hit me up wherever, whatever your social media platform is of choice. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube. Everywhere, my handle is @BonesToBulk. You can also email me at brian@bonestobulk.com. Or check out the website, bonestobulk.com. My email's on there as well if you want to hit me up. If you have any suggestions for the show, things you'd like me to talk about, anything, I'd love to hear from you. I try to respond to everything that I get, so just give me a couple days to get back to you, and I will. With that being said, let's dive in. So I think we've probably, first off, fitness is kind of like a roller coaster. And I'm not talking about the new roller coasters, because I feel like the new ones are all just constant thrill the entire time. But those old school ones where you've got the big first hill, then you've kind of got a couple turns and a couple twists, but nothing breathtaking. And then you get to that second hill and then it gets exciting again. And it's kind of just this ride of scared out of my mind and then also waiting for the next big thing on it. You know what I mean? And I feel like fitness is a lot like this. We go through these ebbs and these flows, and one month we will just be rocking it. We won't miss a day. Our nutrition's on point. We're motivated. We're hungry, and we just go after it, right? And then we'll hit a couple weeks where it's man, I'm done. I don't feel like eating healthy. I don't feel like working out. I'm tired. I'm worn out. External factors come into play, whether it's our work or whether it's our families or, life gets very busy for many of us. I've got 2 young children, married, have a day job. So I get it. Life can be extremely overwhelming sometimes. And I think it's okay to admit that. I feel like there's this mentality that we often have, especially, with social media. We always show the perfect parts. And we show the good days, and we show the days when we got in the gym and worked out, and we show the days when we meal prepped. But oftentimes what we don't show is the days when we slept in and missed our workout, or the day when we caved and ate the entire half gallon of ice cream for a snack, or had one too many drinks, or whatever it is. And both are a reality. Both are real life. I mean, let's be real here. None of us is perfect all the time. I know I definitely am not. I had a pretty, let's just say I indulged a little too much last Sunday. And I'll admit it, I ate too much crap, had a couple too many drinks, it happened. And, that's not a regular occurrence, but those things happen from time to time. And I think we need to allow ourselves, I'm all about discipline and building the habit and staying, on top of your game and all that. I'm all about that life. If you listen to this podcast, I'm all about go hard, go after it. But on the same hand, we're human. We're not robots. As much as I wish I was sometimes, just, could function with no sleep and retain information at a moment's, just hear something and be able to remember it. We're not robots. And I think it's okay to admit that sometimes and admit you know what? I'm human. I screw up, I fail, I have days that just absolutely suck. And that's okay. It's okay. It doesn't mean that everything's going to suck for the next week or month or year or whatever. It just means, today was an off day. And that happens. And realizing that it's normal and that it happens takes so much burden off of us. Because what happens sometimes is we'll be on our journey, especially if we're early on in our journey and we're not used to those, mishaps. We've been maybe going strong for like a week or maybe 2 weeks, we're early on, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a month in, and you've been doing great and you've been seeing progress, and then just life happens and you have a couple off days and you're like, well, I just screwed up. And we can fall into that and think, well, I just ruined yesterday, so I might as well not even worry about it today. And then the next day comes and we're like, I might as well not even worry about it today. And then days turn into a week and weeks turn into a month. And before we know it, we're back to square one because we've allowed that mindset of, well, I screwed up, so I might as well. And I say screw up, but that's not really what I mean. I don't mean we screw up. What I mean is we have off days. We have days where we're not functioning at 100% with our diet and exercise. That's what I mean. It's not a screw up. And so we have days like that and we let it get us down and we kind of digress into this downward spiral because we think, well, I'm just proving to myself that I can't do it again because I failed. No, you didn't. I was having a conversation with someone just the other day and we were talking about fear. I have a tattoo that says fear is the enemy of progress. And they were asking me, hey, what does your tattoo say? And that led to a conversation about fear and the two types of fear. And there's a healthy fear, the kind of fear that keeps us safe, that keeps us from doing stupid things because we're, fearful that something bad may happen if we do something dangerous. And then there's the unhealthy fear, the fear that we conjure up in our minds, the fear that comes when we want to take a bold step in a different direction, but we're scared because we don't know what's around the next corner, or the fear that holds us back from experiencing something new because it's different than what we know. Those are bad fears. And with fitness, it's kind of that way. We fear the days that are off. We fear those times where we're not performing on point, where our performance isn't living up to the perfect photoshopped people we see on Instagram or on YouTube. If we feel like we've failed and we're fearful that will always be a failure. Maybe it's something in our past, something that we failed on 10 years ago, and so we're scared to go after it again because we failed then. Like, I'll be honest, there's things in my life, like tests I've taken or different things I've tried to do, and I'm talking like probably 15 years ago when I didn't really have the maturity, have the discipline to see things through the way I do now. But yet I still am like fearful, like, well, I screwed up on that back then. If I try it again, I might screw up again. And I think a lot of us on fitness journeys, we go through periods where we do fitness for a while and then maybe we don't. And if we quote unquote fail, in other words, we didn't reach the goal we wanted to, we look back on that time as a time when we failed, when in reality we didn't fail. We just probably didn't have all the knowledge we needed. We probably weren't at a place where we were truly ready to change. We probably didn't have the right, people around us to encourage us, whatever it may be. It doesn't mean that you failed. It just means that you learned something that doesn't work for you. Maybe you've tried a diet or an MLM or something you've read online that was supposed to be like a miracle pill or whatever it is, and it didn't work. That doesn't mean that, fitness just isn't for you. That just means, okay, this was a learning moment. I realized that this stuff doesn't really work. So what can I learn now to get me to my goal that I know will work? So I hope this is encouraging to you and not like a downer or anything like that. Like, we're going to not be on point all the time, and that's okay. Accept that, admit it, recognize it for what it is, and then get back after it the next day. There's no reason to wallow in it. There's no reason to get overwhelmed that you had a day that was off. Like, so what? Tomorrow's a new day. The sun will rise again. It's going to rise in the east. Like, it's going to be a new day, and you can go and tackle it and get on point. You know what I'm saying? So I hope this encouraged you. I hope it helps. If so, again, reach out to me. I'm everywhere at Bones to Bulk, all social media handles. Shoot me a message. Let me know what you think of the podcast, what you think could be better. And if you have just a moment please head on over to iTunes, leave us a review. Even if you don't listen all the time on iTunes and you have an iTunes account, please go leave us a review on iTunes. Heart us on Spotify, and like that stuff goes a long way. I know those are very small little things, but if you've just got a couple minutes to take the time to do that, that would mean the world to me, because again, those things really do add up in the podcasting space. So I would really, really appreciate it. With that being said, remember, no matter what you're coming up against, what things you're facing, you can accomplish any goal that you set your mind to. You've got this.